naturally.
It felt really natural to me. So I was like, man, he's really killing it in this. That's when I know you're killing it, is when I can lose that sort of that
dismiss the person that you know.
Yes.
The character. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the way it was going.
We just got YouTube up, by the way.
Awesome.
So, hey guys,
YouTube.
Chris from CinemaSins talking to Jared. We're mid conversation. You can catch the first part of that conversation over on Facebook or on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Well, I just lost
You lost Facebook. You can catch that on Instagram.
Well, I just lost it on Facebook.
You can only have 2 at a time.
Oh my God.
But Twitter, what is this?
Instagram here.
Instagram, you've never had a problem with.
No, it's been good.
We should just all use our cell phones.
Yeah.
Better off.
Yeah. I was looking on Twitter and seeing all the stuff that people were tweeting about Preacher, and most of it was like, God, there's so many commercials.
Yeah,
and that was the way I was thinking about this too, because it's like every one little scene was like, cut with a commercial and everything.
There were a lot of commercials.
Oh yeah,
it seems like there were more commercials than ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it did. It did.
It's like more people are going to watch this, so we're going to add 20% more commercials.
Yeah, yeah.
But other stuff.
There was one random guy on Twitter who was like, I think I'm gonna like this Jody character better than I like him in the comic book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
and then some people were like, who is this Jody character? Does he have powers? Is he just strong? I don't understand. And everything. That's the mystery of the character, man. You gotta watch the season to find out.
You gotta watch the season. We got a vampire just running around. Nobody seems bothered by that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a vampire.
It's just a vampire.
I'm going to interrupt us for 1 second because we have 1, 2, 3 things going live. Finally, we've had a little bit of tech issue. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry, Facebook, Instagram. You rock. You've been killing it for us. This is Chris from CinemaSins, Jeremy, and I'm Chris, and we're from the Nether Region channel. Josh is over there milling about. We are talking about the season premiere of AMC's Preacher, season 3.
Season 3.
And Jeremy is playing Jody. And we're just very impressed, Jeremy. It was awesome. Excited about seeing more of this.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah, no, there's evidently episode 2 is up right now, which I had no idea that was going to happen.
Yeah, if you sign up for AMC's premiere service, you can go watch episode 2 right away. So that'd be cool.
I mean, when we shot it, I had some good stuff in episode 2. So I guess people out there now know if it's there.
I saw you marching behind Ruth Negga in that one shot there.
Had a little bit with Cassidy. Hopefully that's still there.
Hey, Betty killed it in that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. Betty was so good in this.
So good.
I was just wait.
I bet.
She gets better and better.
She is so
She looks like she's on a track to try to win an Emmy.
She's fantastic.
Like that's one of those type of performances. You see the first episode, and like, man, this is building.
Did you feel that about all the cast though? This time, all the new members like Colin Cunningham. Obviously, we love Jeremy and Betty. Who else was new? Is that your 3 new ones?
That's the 3 big ones. There's a couple other people, but
I feel like they knocked it.
Ice.
Casting was like superb this time around. Yeah.
Renee's was about. He was an 1.5 inches or 2 taller than me. He may watch this at some point. And had me by about 100 pounds.
Really?
Nicest guy you'd ever want to meet in your life.
You're talking about the guy at the lodge or whatever?
Yeah. I'm like, only in fiction would this ever happen.
Yeah.
This guy was as cool as they come. I'm like,
so talk to us. I want to hear.
We're actually what in the middle. Can we show the picture that you just had made?
Oh,
Can we be careful, though? It's charcoal.
Okay.
A buddy of mine brought this in.
This is so kind and awesome. This is great.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh yeah.
Can we get it on the both cameras?
Isn't that amazing?
That's sweet.
Is that awesome?
It's cool.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Shout out, yeah.
So I was curious about
fan art.
The alligator stuff. Just give me some details on that. You come in on set. Did you know it was going to be real? What was your anticipation and kind of what happened from there?
It'd been a pretty intense day of shooting. We've been shooting in the swamp since before daylight. And this was one of the later shots that we shot during the day. And in the previous shot, I was doing some crazy stuff. I think maybe in episode 2, but I'm not even talking about it because I'm not sure if it is. I was doing some crazy stuff in episode 2. And towards the end of that scene, I noticed the two guys pulling in this 14-foot alligator. And I'm like, I guess it's real.
Yeah.
I guess it's a real alligator. I mean, I was also it was shot. We were on a swamp. You know, there's a pathway where everything was, but there's swamps on both sides of the path.
You got a question?
And I went to I walked over to craft services at one point, and a buddy of mine came up and said, "Hey, just so you know, there's an alligator about 5 feet away from you, and he's really eyeing you." So I'm like, okay, turn around, there he was. So,
Oh, my.
so
So
lots
was there
of
a
alligators
training
out
for you
there.
to split that sucker down the am I remembering that? Is that true? That
No, you have
gosh,
to.
my mind is kind of
You have
playing
to-
tricks on me.
You had to skin it a certain way, and they had a guy there to show me where. You know, but I mean that all took maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
before we started.
So we do have another question. Hey, you got a question?
There may be a question here from.
We got a couple.
So
folks here.
Light Damn Fire says, glad the tech issues are being worked out. How much fighting choreography was there to learn?
Yeah.
So fighting choreography. That's a great question. Thank you for asking.
No, that is a great question. We actually, John Koyama was the fight coordinator. He was remarkable. And there were 2 or 3 sessions where we went through all that. Interestingly, about 3/4 of that fight was actually cut. So it was a massive, huge fight. And we spent a long time learning it. So yeah, I don't know, 3 or 4 sessions on this one. There are lots of fights. The first one where I knocked Renee's the big guy, when I knocked him out, there was actually no rehearsal there. They just said, okay, hit him here, hit him there. It's all about where the camera's at.
Yeah.
You know, but the one in the truck took a while. Took us about 3 days to shoot that.
I thought that was interesting, like your character. I don't know the comic series at all. So when Jesse stays in the vehicle and you go in alone, he's just like, wait, he knows you're in there kicking some ass.
Right.
But character-wise, that says a lot. Like, it's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah, no, he's been there before. We've been in this situation before. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the little bit that you glean from it. What's the deal with this?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why did
It's a fascinating
it's a
history,
return?
Yeah.
How does it figure in? I'm interested to find out for
Yeah.
sure.
Hey, Josh.
Fascinating, complicated history. It's,
Yeah.
it's really awesome. Yeah.
Right, come on over. We
Got a question,
We
we
got some
got
of
a
our
question.
friends, Hannah and Dan
Hi.
Page.
Preacher and Tulip.
We dressed up.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I had some questions, and it may be things that you guys already talked about, but I wondered where was the location of that plantation house,
Mhm.
and how much of that was like practical set, and how much was like in a studio for that house.
The exteriors were actually, it was about, I don't know, 45, 50 minutes from downtown New Orleans.
Really?
It's the same place they shot Django.
Oh,
Django
right.
Unchained.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That
That
was the
ending
exterior.
scene. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We were there. Those first couple weeks we were there. A lot of exterior stuff there. Yeah. All,
So
all the interior stuff was set design.
Gotcha.
So we'll see more of that in the next episode.
Set design's insane.
I
Yeah,
love it.
and gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Just wait. I mean, it's crazy what they were able to do.
My favorite part was you just standing in the truck, like looking super happy
Yeah.
and triumphant. Like I just was like, yeah,
It was a fun day.
yeah.
It was a fun day. Yeah.
The other question I had was the craft services real good because it was.
It's funny because it's the second person asked me that.
Oh, all right.
That's the most popular question.
Oh,
like food.
yeah.
No, craft services was run by a man named Gator,
Oh, that's
perfect.
a good sign.
and he was quite brilliant.
Mm.
The food he was people preferred craft services over catering.
All
Like,
right.
it was all about craft services there. He was always cooking something, coming up with these gorgeous sort of, because he's from New Orleans, these
Yeah.
gorgeous New Orleans inspired meals or New Orleans,
Yeah.
it was fantastic. You never knew what to expect.
That's
But
great.
it was, craft services was fantastic.
Because normally they get a local person for that, and then the catering can be
Mhm.
changed. But yeah,
I mean,
that's
catering was great too, but some of those local dishes are hard to beat.
Well,
awesome. That's awesome.
we just want to say that we were big fans of the show even before we heard that you were going to be on it, and so we're like,
Psyched?
we're so
Yeah,
psyched.
super
We're
excited.
so psyched,
Awesome.
and we love
So
you so
Very
much.
excited.
I have to say too that both of these folks have been involved with Another Region
Yes.
productions in the past, as far as writing, and You actually AD'd one of them too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But as
yeah.
well as makeup and costuming and all that sort of jazz. And right now, you guys are currently doing.
I have the privilege of working in the world of virtual reality and designing fun VR and AR experiences and things like that.
You would have started with naming your company had you been good at this.
Yeah. A company called Black Box Realities
There you
here
go.
in Nashville.
You guys can check
And
it out.
yeah, I'm creative director there, and we make all sorts of fun things. And
What kind of fun things?
one of the most accessible fun things is at the Adventure Science Center here in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
We have 6 VR booths, a permanent VR exhibit that we create all of the content for.
Oh, nice.
So
That's very
we are about to launch on Monday the dinosaur experience, which is called
Oh, wow.
V-Rex. And so yeah, that goes live on Monday. And we have 3 other fun ones that we built with the Adventure Science folks. And yeah, we're going to continue that relationship and make new things in the upcoming years.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's super
And
fun.
Hannah, what about you?
Currently, I teach fine arts programming to 5 to 11-year-olds at Boys and Girls Club at Preston Taylor.
Awesome.
So I try and instill empathy in the next generation. And
Good luck with that.
You should show them this.
Did you say
episode.
apathy?
oh yeah, I'm just gonna tomorrow we're gonna cancel our class and just show this episode of Preacher.
Sure.
It won't traumatize them at all. It's great.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have
Absolutely.
any problems with that.
No. Mhm.
Anyway,
All right.
thank you guys.
Super excited to see the rest of the season. No doubt.
I'm excited for you to see it.
I know. I'm
super-
so again, just
I am.
super psyched.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
want to go over there and
Awesome.
say anything? Do we think?
Thank you, buddy.
All right, we got coming in. We got Derek, one of the writers for another region,
All right. Well,
and one of.
why don't I switch off?
Okay.
Well, you
Chris,
can
thanks.
stand by. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Do that. Say well, goodbye, Chris. Everybody, check out Chris's stuff on CinemaSins. It's a little up and coming
CinemaSins.
That's
YouTube
right.
channel. You can
It's
check
a
it
little-
out.
Yeah, a little small
Cinema
YouTube
Sense,
channel. Yeah.
Little
Some people
YouTube
heard of it.
channel is upcoming.
Guys,
We
I
hope
will
that-
see you.
We're gonna
Thanks.
rocket strap them with
Thanks for
our
coming, Chris.
live stream.
Yeah.
See you, man.
This was
See
fun.
ya.
It was a whole lot of fun.
See you later.
Congrats, man.
So unlike Chris, I'm a huge fan of the graphic novel,
Mhm.
and that fight scene with Dominic Cooper plays Jesse Custer is an iconic kind of scene in the comics. Can you talk a little about shooting that, and maybe talk about what it was like to work with Dominic Cooper in that role?
Yeah, no, Dominic was fantastic to work with. It was a great energy to sort of feed off. We of course rehearsed it a good bit before we actually shot it. So it was like game day. We got in there, it was like game day,
Yeah.
And it's like the stunt coordinators are patting on the back. It was great, man. It was great, yeah.
You know, it was awesome. Like some of the fight scenes with Dominic and who's the other guy? What's his name? Joe. So Tulip's laying there, and she's in focus, and in the background, they're fighting. Complete, full-blown fight scene happening and it's out of focus. The next shot, I don't know if you remember, they cut to the drip bag, and that's in focus, and they're just being thrown around.
Yeah.
It's really like superbly directed.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very good.
No, Michael Slovis directed the first 2 episodes, and I love him. He's a great man. I was so happy to be able to work with him. I'm glad that my first experience was with him. Everybody was great, but he was really fantastic.
I think the whole
My
series.
Rich King was Dominic Cooper's stunt double. My stunt double was Scott. Scott Hunter. Scott Hunter. So it was like the 4 of us kind of. With John Koyama, who he designed, he choreographed and everything, but it really was like a little team, back and forth, rooting each other on, pointers all the time.
It looked like you were doing a lot of that work yourself, and you were throwing down.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I did it all, with the exception of the head through the window.
That sounded a little dangerous.
I think Dominic did it. I didn't jump off the building. Dominic did it all, but I mean, but we did it in sections, and so it was really interesting the way they cut it all together.
There's
Because the
What's
stunt,
cool
the
about
stunt
this-
guys did it as well.
Yeah.
So we did it, and they did it, and they did it a lot better. So
I think there's so many elements, so many layers to the launch of this season that I mean, there's so much to talk about. Like, it's crazy. There's, I mean, from storylines, the Purgatory plot line with the, Josh and I were talking about it a little bit. Like, it felt like a throwback of Natural Born Killers with Rodney Dangerfield scenes, and also Dogville. Like, just this, and that's in a good, I mean that in a good way. I don't know if they were intentionally throwing back to those. I don't suspect that they were, but like, just all those little elements, so many touches, and she pulls that battery out and plugs it into the clock. And then so I'd be curious your thoughts on this too. All of the advertisement coming into this, easily antagonized, easily, gosh, I only remember yours probably because it was you.
There's a lot, easily offended, easily scared.
So don't watch Preacher, easily whatever. Don't watch Preacher, and then you have God as the dog. And that's kind of, I mean, it's throwing to that. I mean, there's just so many layers to this conversation. And just, how long was that episode? 48 minutes, probably 40.
It's interesting from like a writing perspective. Like all this stuff in this episode is a new layer on a show that already has a ton of stories going on. Because there's still the Grail stuff isn't. You know, that's still in progress because you got stopped when a tulip gets shot. You're still looking for God. Now you've added this entire Jesse's whole family. And they're crazy.
Right.
And that's a little different than the comic book. The comic book had a couple of things going on, but it was still pretty singular. Each issue was like pretty specific.
The way they're writing it, that they're kind of layering these stories together when they're kind of separate arcs in the graphic novel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chris traded off now. It's as if I have to say something significant, and I don't. I was just listening.
I have another question. You know, pretty famously, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are the executive producers behind this and got this series. After a long time of years and years of different adaptations, got this series going. Did you have any interaction with them and any chance to talk to them about the character or anything like that?
No, most of my interaction was with Sam Catlin.
Okay, he's running the show, right?
And he's the lead writer and also one of the executive producers, and with Michael Slovis, who was he was the producing director and directed the first 2 episodes. So lots of talks with them about characters. And then as, you know, different directors would come in, I think we had 6 or 7, you know, talking with them about character stuff as well. But I never had the opportunity to talk with Seth or Adam.
It was funny when I saw it. It was a weird moment when I saw on Instagram when he put up on Instagram of your face that easily antagonized the animation when they did.
Right.
Like, my 2 worlds are coming together.
Right.
I just want to throw this out there. I'm going to go grab Mike actually so we can say hi to him. But I'm just going to throw this word out. Ponytail.
Disgusting.
Let's talk about the ponytail.
What's the ponytail real? That's
on this one, there is no ponytail.
No, it's really funny. I was there for a while, and there were lots of people who were surprised when they found out that was not my ponytail. That was all,
I wouldn't even try.
That was all hair and makeup.
I hadn't seen it in a few months. I thought maybe you grew it out.
No.
All right, everybody. This is Mike Quinones. I said they get close.
Not even
Not even close.
Not
Sorry,
even
buddy.
close.
no worry, but Mike Quinones.
Quinones.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike. Mike is the one that drew the picture that I say drew. It was charcoal that created the masterpiece that we showed you earlier. I don't know if we can show it again, Jared, but I just wanted to. Mike was still floating around, so I wanted to holler at him and give a shout out to his.
Check that out. Bring it over a little closer to this one.
In the middle here.
There we go.
How about if I get right in front of his face?
Nice.
Is that pretty cool?
Dude, that is amazing.
There you go. You have to be careful because it's charcoal.
Yeah. I didn't have any fix-it, though.
Anyway, there you go.
No.
Mike, are you a fan of the show? Have you watched the show up until now? Or?
I actually watched a little bit of it, and I love the craziness of it. And now that he's in it, obviously now I'm going to be watching more. You know?
Yeah, he's got a lot of converts, at least here in Nashville. I know.
Yeah.
I know our mom's watching in Oklahoma, although I doubt that she'll be watching past the first episode.
I like the craziness of it. It's like every time there's something, you know, it's just I really don't know where is it going. So that's why I really like it.
Yeah.
So
And you never will. That's actually one of the things I love so much about. I love about this show, but I also love about the graphic novels.
Yeah.
I think it really took me because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I love the journey.
Do you have any questions based on the episode that you asked Jared? It may be a spoiler, so you can't answer it.
Well, no, I mean, I just kind of like, I mean, I know Jeremy like being the nicest person I could ever imagine, and seeing that, you know, like how badass he is, you know,
how'd you get into it though? Because
You
I mean,
know-
seriously, you're the nicest guy I know.
No, I don't know, man. You just do a lot of prep and spend a lot of time prepping for the character and asking a lot of questions about the character, and you just get out there and kind of hope that the character finds you. I know that sounds a little corny, but it's the truth. And he's a lot of fun to work with. I don't see him as a mean guy or a scary guy or any of that. I just see I see him as just another dude with a.
Well, actually, that's one of the things that is interesting, that you're making it like so lighthearted, but he is such a badass.
Right.
And I think that's the appeal of it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think so. It's what he does. It's all he knows. It's all the character knows. I don't think he's cocky so much as this is my world and I enjoy it.
Well,
Can you actually lift a car?
Yes. Can't lift a car, but I can lift a truck. It took a while.
You're like, what? You look over.
It took a while to build it up, but I can't.
We're
lift
just
a
playing
truck.
around. What was
That
your
truck
line?
was
What was
made
that line?
cardboard.
Line is so funny.
Just trucks. Yes.
I'm glad you like the gift, man.
That's-
No, this is
that's
fantastic,
beautiful.
man.
Very,
Thank you
very,
very
very
Well,
awesome.
Means a lot.
I'll let you guys do that.
Thanks for sharing that with us too.
Um,
That's great.
so we may have some final thoughts. I do want to make sure before we wrap everything up, just to do a couple of shout outs. Obviously, we saw Chris from CinemaSyn, and we saw Daniel with his Black Box innovation. Was it Black Box? No. But Josh Raby was here, and he said he had to run. Obviously,
He had to leave?
He had to leave. But Josh Raby is the director of a series that you guys can check out. He's on Twitter, and he's a lot of fun to just follow on Twitter. But he has a series that Jer is one of the leads of that is on, and you can watch it on Vimeo, I believe, right?
It's Vimeo. It's called Local Air. David Alford, who I did a lot of, was in a lot of, I want to say issues. I've got comic books on
Yeah,
a lot of episodes of Nashville, and anybody can check that out, like a dark Southern comedy.
Yeah, I think probably it's not supernatural, but if you like this show, you would probably like Local Air. I would say that they're
It's got a similar sensibility.
Yeah,
Gothic
sensibility.
sensibility.
Yeah, that's true. Also, Billy Sinise is here. He didn't want to come over, but he's over there. But he's the director of a feature film that you are one of the leads in that's about to come out.
There's two of them closer to.
Well, that Closer to God is out, and you can actually check that out on multiple streaming services. Closer to God, you'll see the icon was like a baby in a beaker. A beaker, more or less.
It's
like
not a comedy.
It's not a comedy. It's not a faith-based thing
beaker,
either. It's a cool story, Frank. It's a story
It's a
about
good movie.
cloning and stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a very cool story. And then the new one coming out soon is
Hey, Billy, can we talk about this movie?
Billy. Oh, there's Josh. Josh didn't leave either.
But Billy,
Can we talk about this movie at all?
What's that?
Your
what's
movie.
that? What movie?
Josh is just about to talk about it.
I was just at least
Maybe
gonna.
we should check with the director.
I was at least gonna say the name of it and let people know that it's coming. Here comes Billy. He can sit down.
Billy.
Oh, buddy.
I would say I would do this, but I'd like have charcoal.
You're
prints all
not in
over
the
your-
frame. You should know how to get in the frame.
Yeah, I don't have any elevator pitches down.
Director and then get in the
That's
frame.
all right. No, we were just about to mention your movie. I'm like, we need to make sure it's all right to mention it first.
Yeah, it's we don't have any plans for it yet.
No,
But you can say the
Let's
name
go.
of it, right?
What's
Are we
the
allowed
name?
to talk
Do you
about
have
that?
Yeah, it's the Dead Center. It's
it's called The Dead Center. It's
we're
a,
finishing up color right now, so it's looking for a premiere.
Who all's in it?
Starring Jeremy Childs
Mhm.
right here, and
as myself.
and
Not
Shane
really.
Carruth and Porna Jagathan.
All excellent actors,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen a cut of it. I haven't seen color correction yet, but very, very proud of this piece. So we're looking forward to seeing what happens with it as well.
Oh, I'm so excited! But I was really excited to see you tonight in this.
Thank you. I was excited.
Serious
To,
badass.
I was excited to see myself. I'm like, there I am. I guess I made the cut. Good for me.
And I'm like, what
What'd you think?
happened?
What'd you think
What
of it?
happened in the hotel there? I mean, how many?
I know. There were I'm going to say there were 50 people in there, and I just knocked them out, man. Knocked them on their butt.
And then jumped off. a roof.
Smiling the whole time. Then I jumped off a roof. Shot a couple of them.
Well, what was the "Come On Sister" line? That didn't.
Yeah, I had lived a couple of those lines. I didn't end up making that. Yeah. But I did say, "Come on." They just cut off the end.
Come on, sister.
I said, "Come on, sister," and they left. Come on. Cut.
So what is this right now? What are we on?
We're on
On
Facebook.
everything, man. You
YouTube,
name it.
Facebook, Instagram.
I got you.
All live. Right?
All live.
There's,
Yeah.
I think, 4,500 watching all in.
Is anybody watching?
I don't
Probably like
believe
five.
it.
But they're up there. But they're up there in
There's no
perpetuity. So
Right. By the time it's
Hey, there
all
I am
said
in the
and done.
background.
Oh,
yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah, look, it's back there.
There it is.
Boom. Bam. That's the big. That's the epic
Oh,
fight
oh,
we're talking
look.
about.
Oh,
All right. Should we?
Well, I
wrap
thought
this up.
Oh,
that
go
was
ahead.
just badass.
No, it was a lot of fun to film, man. It was like a big game.
And what's
like
the
getting
deal?
ready
I don't
for-
understand. Do you? I mean, I'm new to Preacher, but do you have special powers? You lift up the car? Or
No, it's really strong.
you're just really strong.
I mean, I
It seems
skin
like because
elevators
all of a
and
sudden
shit.
everything
You know?
speeds up, like
Yeah.
you're like really like you're a
Just
superhero or something.
No, I'm just really strong.
Just pick the car up.
Mhm. I mean, there's also just a vampire walking around. Nobody.
But I don't understand the relationship between you and the grandma.
Well, a lot of that comes into play as we venture through the season.
I see.
I was wondering where that went. I thought
Yeah.
she was your mama.
But she's not. Yeah,
but
she's
maybe
not your
not.
mom.
She's Miss. I call her Miss Marie.
That's what I heard.
And
You
what's
know-
the
if you know- if you
transport
know-
stuff?
You notice that Jesse calls her grandma,
I did.
and I call her Miss Marie.
Yeah.
And so does TC. Call her Miss Marie.
Well, they introduced Jesse in the photo. The Polaroid she swallowed was Jesse, right?
That's Jesse as a child. Yeah, little baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's the transport stuff?
It's something that she needs, as we discovered in episode 1. It's something that she needs to help in the process of bringing Ruth or Tulip back from
Yeah,
purgatory.
but how did you get in the hotel room?
Again, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to discover through
I
the
got
season.
you.
These are great questions.
But you gotta know, when you were in the
Nobody else
hotel
tried to
room
get
for
you
a
to spoil,
while,
did they?
then you came back with this little bit of liquid.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's going to make a lot more sense as we go through the next 10
okay.
episodes.
Joseph Lee Taylor
I'm gonna watch
says,
more, I promise.
super badass.
Who says that?
Joseph Lee Taylor.
Thank you, Joseph Lee Taylor.
It is super. Or is that a question? Super.
Is that a
badass?
question?
Is your
Okay.
ass super bad?
No, they put an
Super
explanation point,
badass?
but let's pretend it is. So, you'd like to know super badass?
Thank you, Joseph Lee Taylor, for watching us. We do appreciate it. We get very excited when somebody asks us.
That's right.
Please answer the
It's
question.
like somebody's out there.
All right.
All right.
Now that he's
thanks.
watching, should we wrap it
I
up?
think it's about time
Honestly,
to
we
wrap
did
it
have
up.
So the one
boys.
person's watching.
No, we
and
have
let's
six.
stop.
We have six over
Yes.
here.
Let's
how many
stop.
It takes us
I
2
don't know.
hours to get one
Right,
person, and then
Six
we quit.
people are watching.
Then we quit.
Thank you for watching,
That
everybody.
was-
All right, everybody. So next week, next Sunday,
I keep
episode
ignoring
2.
Instagram. Hope it's my good
Yeah,
side.
episode 2. So tune in, and we'll keep the hashtags going.
We
and all
just
that
got
jazz.
something.
Although evidently you can watch it
Just
on
from
AMC
you-
Premiere. People on
AMC
YouTube.
Premiere.
YouTube say,
Yeah.
glad the tech issue been worked out. How about? Oh, that's a
We
yeah.
read
He's
that
just
one.
strong. She's someone worse than spells and just strong. Definitely going to find out about that later. Yep. Take it easy. You take it easy. You take it easy.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Thanks.